Hello, and welcome to Opening Bars. For this piece, I'm going to let Bill Withers tell the introductory story. In an interview for Song Facts, he says, "This was my second album, so I could afford to buy myself a little Wurlitzer electric piano. So I bought a little piano, and I was sitting there just running my fingers up and down the piano. In the course of doing the music, that phrase crossed my mind. So then you go back and say, okay, I like the way that phrase 'lean on me' sounds with this song. So you go back and say, how do I arrive at this as a conclusion to a statement? What would I say that would cause me to say, 'lean on me'?" Later on, he says this, "I'm a stickler for saying something the simplest possible way with some elements of poetry. Simple is memorable. If something's too complicated, you're not going to walk around humming it to yourself because it's too hard to remember. That's why the simpler forms of music, which are my favorites, like country music and the blues and stuff, state something in a way that everyone can understand and you remember it. There are lines that are so profound, like 'the first time ever I saw your face,' or 'I love you just the way you are.' You can't say that any better." Well then, let's look at these simple and iconic opening bars. We'll begin, as we always do, by recognizing the treble G clef and the bass F clef. There is no key signature, and the 4/4 time signature indicates a 4-quarter note pulse in each measure. Now, in the recording, there is both a piano and a Wurlitzer electric piano playing at the same time. If we concentrate on the acoustic piano first, we will hear primarily what is notated here. You can clearly see triads in parallel motion, almost all in first inversion, except for the one C chord in measure 7. The harmony is implied, a 1 in the major for the first bar, moving to 4, also in the major, returning to the tonic 1, and then a 5 in the major. The E is a type of notated appoggiatura, moving to a D minor triad, which is really a 5/7 with a sus2A, wanting to resolve to the major third B natural. The 4 bars, then, are essentially recapitulated. I would not label the intervening chords. I feel that they're all just passing and not moments of harmonic significance. The rhythm is simple and distinctive, essentially a half note on beat 1, and then 4 eighth notes, which anticipate and tie over to the downbeat of the following measure. You can visually see just how identical the two 4-bar phrases are. When you play this, keep it steady, but not robotic. Feel the pulse in your head and in your heart. I would not put any unnecessary dynamics or accents on these chords. Let the movement itself tell the story. I hear a lot of people too play these eighths staccato or detached. I really don't care for that, but I don't think it's legato or connected either. Bill plays them somewhere in between. Now, the Wurlitzer doubles the acoustic piano for the most part, but deviates in some interesting ways. Those notes are added in red. The most recognizable moment, of course, is when we hear those two chords on the and of beat 1 in measures 2 and 3. But my favorite moment is the addition of the B flat in measure 5. That seventh of the C chord strengthens the approach to the 4-chord F major, making it more sonically directioned, but clashes too in a delightful way with the piano B natural. Let's play this amalgam now. One skill you can work on is to create your own technical exercises based on that parallel chord motion. Start with the root position triads, then first inversion, and then second inversion. Try practicing these slowly, getting the feel for striking the chords evenly with all fingers, and then working up some speed. This will become tricky when you increase the tempo because your hand, while it needs to maintain a uniform position, will tend to tense up and your finger spacing will contract. It's important to remain relaxed yet precise. One suggestion to improve your overall musicianship would be to seek other compositions that utilize this parallel chord motion. Perhaps you might try playing Run, Run by the Brazilian composer Octavio Pinto. The form of this piece is A-B-A. I'll play just the final repetition of the A section starting at measure 60 to the end. Just a couple of suggestions before we begin. Study the compositional patterning first before trying to play this. Even these closing bars have a pseudo-ABA arc. Watch the beams. Their tilt will give you a clue to which direction the pattern is moving. Note that the crescendo and decrescendo dynamic markings are under the left hand. Normally, they're between the staves for the grand staff, but there's no room as a result of the beaming between the hands. And the glissando too at the end is really fun. Turn your right hand over, palm up, and play the keys with the fingernail of your middle finger, moving smoothly up the keyboard 3 octaves from C5 right up to the topmost note C8 on a standard 88 key piano. Okay, let's run. I hope you enjoyed your lesson today. Remember, don't just play notes. Make music. Until next time, thanks for listening.